Coming up on BYU basketball with Mark Pope, the Cougars wrap up their most successful WCC season ever by riding the waves to a 9th straight win, led by our special guest tonight, Yoeli Childs. Next up, the lights of Las Vegas and postseason play.
This is BYU basketball with Mark Pope, presented by Siegfried and Jensen. And now, your host, the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Hello, Cougar Nation! And for the final time in this 2019-20 season, hello once again, and welcome back inside a jam-packed Studio C here at BYUtv in Provo, Utah for BYU basketball with Mark Pope, the hour of power for Cougar Hoops fans. And tonight, those fans include my 23-season broadcast partner, Mark Durant is here tonight, everybody. Yes! We have a super show lined up for Mark and all of you in our season finale. We'll look back on BYU's 9th straight win as the Cougs prevailed at Pepperdine over the weekend. We'll go inside the film room with TJ Haas. We'll preview the WCC Tournament. Yes, it's coming up. Starts later this week in Las Vegas. We'll bring you a new Deep Blue featuring Connor Harding. Departing senior Yoeli Childs will join us live in studio, and we'll ask the always compelling question, what happened? But right now, there's only one question to ask. Can you all please give it up for head coach Mark Pope?
We don't have a coronavirus issue. Nobody touch each other. This coronavirus
taking
is
precautions.
Real. Everybody be careful because we need you guys all in Vegas.
So, full house last week,
yes.
Full house this week, yes. And then we have to end the season.
I know. Are you guys sad?
Yeah.
Like this is the last show. It makes me so sad. But it is, first of all, thank you for coming. It's so awesome to have you all. We have a whole room somewhere else hidden in this.
We have people in overflow.
With a bunch of people in overflow.
Do you think during one of the breaks tonight you could just go say hi to them for a quick second? Okay.
I love it. Let's go. But seriously, it means a lot. Like, we're doing this together, guys, and you know, the Marriott Center, the second half of the season, and then having everybody jumping in and supporting these guys is really awesome. So thank you for being here. Well,
things just keep on rolling for you guys. A one-game week last week and a one-win week for you guys as you went to Malibu. Let's take a look at the stats and highlights from Saturday, brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare. BYU at Pepperdine, let's get right to it. This was a good first-half battle, kind of a back-and-forth thing, and Yoeli started off his day that way. And just what do you do against that guy? That was the question Pepperdine would have a hard time answering in this one. Zach with the steal, Toulson transition triple, and tough to pull away from these guys in the first half, but you made enough shots to be where you wanted to be.
I mean, so many storylines. You know, they were face guarding Jake and playing him so solid, and he still three from three-point line. And Zach Sellies comes in and gives a huge lift defensively, and clearly Yoeli all night was unstoppable. I mean, 38-14. It's just he put on a show. It was incredible.
BYU was down 3 at halftime. Go to the second half now, and the Yoeli show continued. BYU's up 2. Now, Connor Harding makes one shot all day, and it was this one.
Yeah. And how many times do we see, like, does anybody not believe that shot's going in? All season long, it goes in every time. It's really incredible. And that was a SportsCenter highlight play. It was unbelievable. The athleticism Yoeli showed there was incredible.
Zach Sellies goes on his own personal 10-point run to kind of change the game for you.
Yeah, Zach's been guarding all season long and making opportunity shots. And he's like, hey, I'm just going to run off 10 here just to make sure we're fine.
The assist to TJ, Yoeli right to the front of the rim, and then another with emphasis here for Yoeli Childs, and he has a career high. Career high comes in his last regular season game as a Cougar, 38 points.
You know, we'll talk about Yoeli a lot tonight, but you talk about the trend he's on right now in terms of what he's accomplished the last 2 Saturdays. It is extraordinary. I mean, he single-handedly took down the best front line in all of college basketball one Saturday. The next Saturday, he goes 38-14 and wins. It's a huge game on the road, and he is certainly peaking at the right time.
Okay, so we allude to it during the highlights. Teams have to make a choice every time they play you. What what do they want to do with Yoli Childs, and things play off of that. How would you describe how Yoli reacted to what he saw?
He just has done it all year long. I mean, he's been doubled baseline. He's been doubled from the top. He's been doubled from the pass or on the catch. He's been triple teamed, and he's been left one-on-one in the post. And he's managed to find an answer to every single scenario. So really, that just makes me so grateful that I'm coaching this team and not any of the teams that play us, because it's a hard nut to unravel. I'm telling you, it's a real challenge. I mean, do you let this team kind of attack you from the perimeter because you have to bring help on him? You bring a second defender on ball screen defense, or do you just say we're going to live with it? And it's what Pepperdine did. And Lorenzo Romar is as good a coach as anybody in the country, and he made that calculated decision. And Yoli just said, nope, it's not going to happen tonight. You leave me one-on-one, you're going to pay.
How concerned were you, having just beaten Gonzaga, the number 2 team in the country, how concerned were you about being right in Malibu on Saturday?
It was really concerning because of human nature. So we've won 8 in a row. We just had the most epic senior night maybe in the history of college basketball. And I know that sounds like it's a huge statement, but I don't know. Has anybody been a part of a senior night that was more magical than that? And the guys are feeling good, and we went a whole month without a loss, and we had a whole week off. And so you worry about all the human nature that's involved in that. Can your team find its edge and find its fight again? And we started that game the first few minutes just okay, and then Zach Sellius checked in the game and made 2 huge defensive plays, and it was just like, we're fine. Let's go.
And BYU went. And time now for some screen time from the BYU team room. Time to go inside some of the winning plays for the Cougs with an assist from our own Jerem Jordan. This week, Jerem and TJ Haws take us inside the film room.
All right, first up, TJ, how's Tyson doing?
He's doing really well.
It's been a month already.
It's been a month. It's gone by really fast, but yeah, he's starting to grow up a little bit, and he's doing really well. Really happy baby. He sleeps on my chest sometimes, and it's a fun, father-son bonding moment for me. And so it's been really great so far. I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome, man. Okay, let's break down some plays from the Pepperdine game. First one, pick and roll. This is a staple of the offense here, but this ends up in a dunk. Walk me through this one.
It's interesting because, this team, they usually down those ball screens, forcing you to the baseline. If you can get over like that, they're not, super used to guarding that way. You can see, that big guy's, he's backed off a little bit. And so I got over that screen, and, immediately when he started coming towards me, I threw that bounce pass, and that gives Yoli an easy basket.
Second half, it's a tight game. It's a 4-point game. Trying to make a play. You put on the Jets, and you pull a Colby Ross on Colby Ross for an and one. This one trickles in.
I know. Right here where it starts, I looked over at Coach, and he started to call a play, and then he said, no, go. And so I took off. I sprinted full speed, and then tried to, give him a little hesitation like I was going to pull up for, a jump shot. And he fell for it a little bit and then, put it back on. And immediately when he bumped me, I took the contact and threw it up and saw it go down. That was fun.
Then St. Mary's. This is a rivalry. This is a huge moment. This play was drawn up for you. This is a game that BYU needs to be in this position. And you get the 3-pointer. You're going to the hospital that night. This is like the craziest night of your life.
This was the craziest night of my life, 100%. There's so many options in this play. As a point guard, you're just trying to make the right basketball play. And, Jake sets that first screen, and then Yoli sets that second one, and he goes over Jake's screen and then under Yoli's screen. And immediately when I saw him go under, I felt like I had a good look, and I pulled it.
When the ball leaves your hand, do you know it's going in right away?
That one felt really good, I'll be honest.
And let's finish with this. I know your grandpa, Ralph, meant a lot to you, and he passed away on Sunday night. What would you like to say about your grandpa?
Oh, man, it's been, there's so many emotions. As we practice today, looking over at his seat, it's hard. This one's hard to swallow, and he means so much to, me and my family, but not only us, but, Cougar Nation, BYU. He's been around the program for so long, and it's hard to see him go, but I feel like with little Tyson Ralph that I feel like I'm always going to have a little part of him, with me. And I know he's going to be watching over him, and he's going to be watching over us. And I love him so much, and he's going to be missed by many.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you.
When you first came to BYU as an assistant coach, you got to know Ralph pretty quickly.
Yeah, Grandpa Ralph was just a constant around this program, not just because their family legacy is so extraordinary. His son, Marty, had such a prolific career here, and then I got to coach both of his sons, Tyler and TJ, and when I was here as an assistant, Ralph was at practice almost every day. He just loved these boys and watching them grow and compete so much. And he loved BYU basketball so much. And so when I came back here this spring, Ralph was coming around, but not as often. And I was pretty angry at him, like, you're supposed to be here, because he's such a part of this program. And he loves those boys so much and loves BYU so much. And what that family has done for this university is extraordinary. And he's universally beloved and so special. And when TJ mentioned that about his first practice back after Grandpa Ralph passed away, I know the exact moment because we were changing as a court, and TJ runs by me, and he's fighting to hold back tears, and it was, Ralph came and sat in the same seat every time, and so such an emotional connection, and such a beautiful person, and that's what BYU is. It's legacy families, and it's people that believe in this place, and nobody more so than Ralph Haas.
Much love to the entire Haas family. We'll be back with more BYU basketball with Mark Pope right after this.
BYU basketball with Mark Pope is brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 25 years. The BYU Store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere. And by Intermountain Healthcare, healing for life.
And those picks as we come back in are BYU's all-conference first-teamers. We'll have more on that in a minute. Welcome back to BYU basketball with Mark Pope. It's our final show of the season, with the Cougs ready to head down to Las Vegas for the conference tournament, which starts later this week. BYU's tourney run opening up next Monday. BYU earning the 2 seed by virtue of a solo second-place finish in the West Coast Conference. First time ever that's happened for BYU, solo second. The Cougs, the only team to defeat Gonzaga in the regular season. But, Coach, kudos to the Zags, 8th straight league championship.
Yeah, what Mark Few's done there is beyond. You can't find words for it. It's really incredible, and it makes it really fun for us because we're in hot pursuit, and it's nice to have somebody to chase, and Gonzaga has done the whole country the favor. Everyone in the country is trying to chase him, and we get to do it in close proximity, so it's pretty awesome.
All right, tourney seeds and matchup set. We see how things break down. Those 7 through 10 will start on Thursday. 2 more teams join Friday, 2 more on Saturday, then a break day Sunday. You don't play till next Monday. Yeah,
it's interesting. For us, we've been going over the schedule, and it's going to feel a lot like Maui for us. We'll get down there Friday night, just like we got to Maui Friday night. We have a full schedule Saturday, and then Sunday we'll go to church and just try and keep the guys' bodies healthy and not too much basketball even thinking on Saturday and then Sunday, and then Monday morning we get a shoot around, then we go play, and it's on, and it's semifinal game, and we're going to go take a huge swing at this.
The end of the regular season means postseason conference honors. They came out today, and BYU coach well represented in the voting by the conference's coaches. We'll take a look at how the individual honors broke down. The player of the year comes from the Zags. It is Filip Petrusev. Coach of the year was Damon Stoudemire from Pacific. They got to a 20-win season. Defensive player of the year, one of his players, Jaleel Tripp, and the newcomer of the year, the guy back at BYU, Jake Toolson.
Yeah, first of all, so happy for Jake. I think it was probably a unanimous selection. I don't know if they say that, but I don't know who else would have been competitive in the running there. So we're so happy for him and happy for our all-conference selections, and it's a great tribute to BYU.
First time ever that BYU's placed 3 players on the all-conference first team. We're going to see 2 of them here as we go alphabetically. We'll look at the first 5 featuring Yo and TJ, with still 1 more of your guys to come.
It's an incredibly talented 10 players. This is really special players. You have 3 from Gonzaga, 3 from BYU, and that's probably how it should be. And certainly all 3 of our guys are incredibly worthy of those honors.
So 3 Cougs, 3 Zags, 2 Gales, and then a player each from Pacific and Pepperdine. The second team saw a couple of waves. One of the USF players, LMU, and Santa Clara all represented. That's how the all-conference honors broke down today, the individuals, and then 15 players, a 10-player first team, and a 5-player second team. Congrats to all. And, yeah, a lot of folks thought that Coach Pope might have saw his name in that list. today. Now,
What is this young man's name?
Coach Pope is my Coach of the Year.
What?
Go Cougars.
Boston, if I had my wallet, I would pay you now, but I'll pay you later for putting up that sign. Thank you, my friend.
Good stuff. Time now to go inside the numbers, presented by Mountain America Credit Union. And as we do, we have some standout accomplishments from this year's team. Hopefully, more to come in the postseason. So many good things happened, Coach Pope. A 24-7 record. Those 24-win regular seasons don't come around very often. That was the 9th all-time at BYU. 13-3, best ever record in the WCC. Solo second place, as we talked about. And then the net rankings and the poll rankings kind of speak for themselves. What a magical run you're on.
And all these numbers are great, but we're not here because of these numbers. We're here because of these guys' stories, right? Like this Jake Toulson saga is so inspiring, and TJ Hawes' story is so incredibly inspiring. And we all love Zach Salius and Dalton Nixon, and we're about to spend some time with Yoli Childs. Like that's what makes sports special, and so the numbers are great, but what we're getting to witness in these young men and their stories is the best part of it.
And we've talked about the mantra, and when you say best locker room in America, I think these are things that are evidence of that, right?
Yeah, 100%. In fact, I was sitting in the lounge today with Richard Harward, who is sitting out this year, and he's going to be a huge part of this team next year, and that's all we talked about. It's like, Rich, it's on you, man. You've got to witness how this locker room functions, and it's going to be on your shoulders to carry it forward, as well as the other guys that are coming back and the new guys in. And it is a huge priority for us because it wins. It sounds like a soft skill, but it wins, and it's these guys have been proof of that this year.
Okay, Selection Sunday now less than 2 weeks away with only one or maybe two more games to play. Let's see BYU's postseason resume as it shapes up today. That great net number, which is top 10.
Top 10!
How about that, right? Let's go. And again, every metric and measuring factor just loves the Cougs right now.
My daughter, Avery, is so disgusted with me right now. She's like, Dad, relax.
You should get fired up. This is great. This is good stuff. That's a great portfolio. And you know what? You know what the committee values,
yes,
right? And you're doing a lot of the things the committee values.
Yeah, and it's not easy to get there. I mean, these guys are approaching really rarefied air right now, and it's special. And I think the feeling we have right now, a lot of times these seasons are so grueling. If you think about our season, we started really essentially as soon as I got hired. Usually you give the guys off till June 24th when you start the second session, but we didn't do that. We actually started right away because we want to get our hands on these guys. So we kind of went all summer, alternating weeks. Then we had the Italy trip with 10 days of practice. Then we had 2-a-days for 5 weeks. And then we've had this season that has been so taxing on everybody's emotion. Usually by this time, guys are about ready to I can't take another day, let me tap out. As not the juice on this team. This team is so desperate. They're having so much fun. They just want to keep playing. They want to keep experiencing this, and that is a special thing.
It's been awesome. Well, whether you're a regular viewer or listener with the show, or whether you've joined us live in Studio C, you know that this show is a team effort. You've got the crew, got a great crew. You've got the coach, you've got the host, and you've got the producer. His name is Jerem Jordan.
Yes. Every time I come on the show, Jerem's like, you have to talk less.
And wait, who's already getting what? Jerem?
Jordan!
No, these are for after.
This Jerem Jordan is directing this show. Where are you, Jordan? Show yourself. Speaking of which, Jerem, your good luck didn't work. Jerem Jordan, how good was that?
It was really good from Jeff and really, really good from you.
That was a great question. And a spectacular answer. Do I have time, Jerem?
You're going to make time.
I'm going to make time. I don't have time. Oh, I got time. Jerem Jordan, the producer, is like, hey, you're not paying attention to Julian when he's doing this. Like, he's standing right here in front of us doing this. And I'm like, oh, I think Julian's telling me to keep going, man. You're doing great. You're doing great. Apparently that means to wrap it up.
Yeah,
so, Julian, my apologies, my friend.
Say goodnight. We got to go. Go, Cougs.
Hey, can we give it up for Jerem Jordan? Jerem's wife and daughter here somewhere. Where are
Whitney
they?
and Ben are up right here.
So thank you guys so much. So I'm about to get myself in huge trouble, okay? And so I don't know if I should name names or not, but we have a chance to pay attention to some of the other coaches shows around the country from the top blue blood programs in America. they're not even in the same universe as this production that Jerem, these guys put together, and it's just a gift to this program. So we're super grateful.
Well, you want best locker room in America? We want best control room in America.
There we go.
So that's what we got, I think.
Love it.
All right. The Boys of Spring swinging away this weekend on BYU Radio. Tune in as BYU baseball begins a 3-game series on the road against Oklahoma State. It'll be Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern on BYU Radio 107.9 FM. BYU fans, this reminder, you can have your groceries waiting to be picked up or better yet dropped off at your front door, all done online at smithsfoodanddrug.com or on their app on your phone. Download the Smiths app and save time. Shop online. After this break, a brand new Deep Blue featuring sophomore Connor Harding. This is BYU Basketball with Mark Pope.
BYU Basketball with Mark Pope is brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 25 years. And by Mountain America Credit Union, guiding you forward.
I think a lot of suits got dry cleaned and a lot of carpets got cleaned this year for BYU. Welcome back to BYU Basketball with Mark Pope, presented by Siegfried and Jensen. Here's a look at our Cougars in the pros. We see Brandon Davies, big numbers for Barcelona. Jimmer Fredette in Greece with Panathinaikos. Eric Mika back in the G League with the Stockton Kings. And Elijah Bryant playing his basketball for Maccabi Tel Aviv over in Israel. Well, each week on this show, we help you to get to know BYU's players better in a way that goes beyond the box score and their bios. This week, it's our chance to get to know more deeply sophomore Connor Harding. It's Deep Blue.
Do you have the power to rework the past? No. Then I said, learn how to let go. Nobody can rework the past. You can't hang on to that. That's a dangerous thing. You move on. Okay, Grandma.
Growing up in Idaho, I was surrounded by a bunch of family, and one that I had a really close relationship to was my grandma. In high school, we had the opportunity to go eat off campus. Freshman year, you want to go out with all your friends, but I had the opportunity to go over to my grandma's house and have a meal with her every day for lunch. And that was from freshman year to senior year, and we'd do it every single week.
Connor took the divorce of his parents very, very seriously. He loved his mother and he loved his dad. And I thought, I have got to zero in on this boy. So I made a point to go to all of his junior high games and sit there and talk to him, maybe take him a little treat. And then when he got in high school and was old enough to drive, I invited him to come every day for lunch. And I thought, this is the time that we can bond. Food is an expression of love.
We would seriously just sit down, would eat, and then we'd just talk. We'd just talk about, mostly the gospel, about how I'm doing in life. And she would just sit me down, give me advice, keep me down to earth and to help me, become who I am.
7th, 8th grade, we said, hey, you need to start practicing more. If you're going to take it serious and be a good basketball player, you have to put in as much gym time as you possibly can. So that's when he decided, should I sleep in every morning or get up and find a gym and get working out? And so he would get up every morning and he would ride the four-wheeler to the church gym. A couple December, January mornings, he looked like the kid off Christmas Story. He was all bundled up, 4 or 5 coats on, riding down to the gym to get a couple shots up. That's when you started to realize how dedicated he was to basketball and his love and passion for the game.
My first one-on-one opponent was my sister, and she was a monster. I'd be driving to the hoop, and she would be bumping me out into the brick wall. I'd be all scraped up, and, I would be playing her, and I'd be so close to winning, and I'd lose every single time. And every single time, it was just tears rolling down my eyes, going into my mom, throwing a fit, didn't even want to talk to anyone. I had a competitive nature when I was really young.
He would come play with me and our other brother, Jordan, or any of our friends. He was always the youngest brother, so, we'd play winner stays on. If you lose, you're out. That's when we decided he had to step up his game if he wanted to keep playing with us.
They'd beat up on me. They didn't want to lose to little brother. They wanted to show, who's boss in the house. I mean, there's a pecking order. I'd say in my house, I'd play them, and they'd kick my butt. And, eventually, my dad was like, hey, got to work on this, got to work on that. And I'd go work on it, and then I'd come back, and, different things would work, like up and unders and footwork and different things like that. And, I started to compete with them. And then eventually, I got a little older, got a little stronger, and I started to beat them. Playing one-on-one, playing up. I think, that's helped me get to the college level where there's a lot of scheming and game plans, and it comes pretty quick to me to understand the principles.
Harding, shimmy shake, baseline, what a move!
He's been willing to do whatever, right, Coach Pope has asked him to do throughout the year, right, whatever role, whichever guy, we need him to guard. Offensively, how can he best help the team? And, he came in to start this year on fire from the three-point line.
The player I see now is, the player we're expecting.
He could drive more, he could shoot more, he could do a lot. If you've ever watched him play, he is a total team player. And I said, oh, that's my Connor.
We expect him to keep growing and keep being a better basketball player.
And this Connor Harding, tough as nails, okay? I mean, he will run through a brick wall, do anything to try and help his team. But I'm here this summer, I happen to look over the railing, and him and Paisley are out there playing one-on-one, and she is kicking his behind. It was a beatdown.
Connor has a sweetheart on the women's basketball team. Both of them are competing at a very high level.
She's helped me through a lot of what's happened on this court. She's going through it. She's been through a lot of different experiences, and she's just been there by my side because you have a lot of ups and downs in basketball where you're like, what am I doing? Why am I here? And she's just there to tell me, hey, I've been through this, and I just want to tell you, a little secret that I did. Don't be afraid to open up. Don't be afraid to voice, your opinion or to be yourself. She'll bring back, things that I knew about myself, but at that moment, it was not in my head. And so she just helps me keep my identity. And I think that's the most important thing that anyone can do.
How great is his grandma?
That's her Connor.
So actually, Leanne and I sat down with Connor a few weeks ago, and we just had a long conversation, and just to let him open up and talk about his life. And he talked about his grandma as being the most important person in his life, and it really did shape him, and it's an extraordinary relationship. And then you guys understand what I have to deal with in terms of her being frustrated that he's not getting more shots and he can do more. See, not easy, right? Which is what a great grandma is. So what an unbelievable story.
Well, we've been so impressed all season long with these weekly Deep Blue player profiles, and the creators in charge of producing every one of these amazing features have joined us tonight here in Studio C. Please say hello to Travis, Alex, and Landon Moore.
So Travis is running this deal, and we talked this summer about how we just wanted so badly for people to get to know our players, to get to know them deeply and bond with them and understand their life. And what you guys have done in terms of revealing to the world kind of the makeup of who these guys are and what type of people they are and how they got where they are has been extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. So we're so grateful, guys. It's just been unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's incredible work. We're truly grateful and blessed. So thank you for the great season. Well, it is WCC tourney time, folks, and things get underway Thursday in the women's bracket. BYUtv will carry all the men's and women's games that ESPN does not carry Thursday through Monday. The BYU women's team, the 3 seed, and playing Saturday at the 6 Eastern against St. Mary's, LMU, or Pepperdine on BYUtv. Coming up next, Yoli Childs joining us live in Studio C on the season finale of BYU basketball with Mark Pope.
5-second shot clock. Childs step back three. Got it! Yoli Childs! TJ stopping at the free throw line, lobbing it up for Yoli Childs, who reaches back and hammers it home! Left wing, Gilder runs around, Childs, block shot by Yo! Connor will drive it, stop in the post, hand off to Yo!
Well, when Mark Pope was introduced as BYU's head coach about 11 months ago, he may not have expected to have Yoli Childs playing for him in his first season on the BYU sidelines. But Yoli did return to play and has been, of course, a huge part of BYU's special season, a season that will continue in Las Vegas and beyond in the NCAA tournament. Please welcome for one final time, Yoli Childs. You've been on the show before, but never quite to an ovation like this.
Sweet. You guys are awesome.
There's another room that's packed full of people that you have to say hi to after the deal.
That's big time.
It is so good to have you here.
Good to be here.
And you were coming off, a 38-point, 14-rebound game at Pepperdine. You get your second straight WCC Player of the Week honor, by the way. Congratulations for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And to be a first-teamer, too. Way to go.
Sure. Thank you.
And it's not just you, right? I mean, you had fellow first-teamers, and then the guys that even didn't get named are just a big part of what's been happening. How do you look back, now that you can take a breath for a few days before you play again, on what you guys already have accomplished?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we just have so many great players that play for each other, and it's just been so much fun, you know. Jake and TJ making the first team is awesome, but it's all those other guys that really make us go, you know. Alex has been huge, and I mean, not to discredit any people making those decisions, but if you really know basketball and you watch him play, you know he makes our team go. And same thing goes for Dalton and Zach and Colby and even our guys on the practice squad right now making us better every day. So we're just a really united group, and I think that's why we've had the success we've had so far.
You know, the Pepperdine game, you mentioned AB a second ago, right? And he makes one shot in that game. It's a huge three when it comes, gives you a double-digit lead. We saw earlier Connor make his one shot of the game. It puts you in front. You never relinquish the lead. Colby Lee grinds for an offensive rebound, gives you these plays happen from all over your roster right now. Oh,
it's incredible. It's just the definition of selfless, you know. It's easy to have energy and keep it going when you get to take 27 shots, you know. Like, it's not hard to do. But to take one shot an entire game and be completely locked in on the defensive end of the floor, to continue to make the right plays, to not hunt shots, to do the right thing every possession, it just speaks to the character of these guys and how much they're bought in.
Does Yoli undersell how difficult it is to be as good as he is?
No,
it's more than just taking shots.
Let's talk about it. There's been no 38-14 game all season. You think about that. Nobody has had that game at home or on the road. Like that just is, it's so epic, and he does it on the heels of what he did to Gonzaga. Nobody does that to Gonzaga. So, yeah, he's incredibly humble, incredibly modest, but I don't have to be. Okay? We've got really spoiled watching him do these incredible things, but nobody else gets to see a player on their team do these things. It's astonishing.
And there's Yoli finishing off the Waves on Saturday in Malibu. So your sophomore season, all WCC first team. Your junior season, all WCC first team. Your senior season, all WCC first team. Since BYU joined this league, only two guys have done that 3 times, and that was Kyle Collinsworth and Tyler Haws. So you're in some good company, right?
That's great company. Those are 2 unbelievable players, and I just think that speaks to this program and how consistent it's been. And I'm definitely so blessed to be in the position I'm in, to have the teammates I have, to have the coaching staffs I've had over the years that have put me in a position to be successful. So I'm just really lucky.
We all know so well what you can do inside. That bottom number there, Yo and Coach Pope, how big of a factor is that in what you guys are doing as a team right now?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's nothing he can't do on the court right now. He's pushing the ball in transition. He's shooting, one of the top percentages in the entire league. We've talked about his ball screen defense, his transition defense, and he contributes to the game in every single way, and still has a way higher ceiling, which is something that's pretty exciting. And he's tapping into that every day. You think about a great player like this, and the fact that we are still 5 or 6 days removed from our semifinal game after a grueling season, and Yoli comes to practice today like hardwired to come go at it hard and with such incredible intensity, and that's what's made him special so far. It's what's helped him grow so much this season, and it's what's going to make him an unbelievable pro several weeks down the road when we finally finish the season.
You thought you might take the pro route after last season. You decided to come back. We're going to see here in a second what you hoped you would get out of your senior year.
I'm going to be able to be a pro for a really long time, but I only have one more year to do something special here. And I owe it to this school. I owe it to these guys over here, my teammates, to come back and do something amazing. And I just want to go all out and make something special happen for BYU.
So far, you've got some more basketball to play, but to this point, is this kind of what you envisioned?
I mean, first off, we're not done. We got a lot more work to do, and we're really excited. This team's so special, and we continue to work hard. And next Monday, we're going to be a lot better team than we are today, and that's just who we are. But it's been a special season, and not necessarily for the reasons that I thought it would be coming in. And that's just kind of how life is. It's been really special to see the way we've battled through adversity. It's been special to see the way our teammates have sacrificed and the way we fought for each other. It's been special to see the way the fans have embraced this season and this team, and we love them for it. And just the growth we've had as a team, as a unit, and individually has been really special.
And Mark, again, when you took the job, you may not have known you'd have him for this great season. And when you made that news known, well, you and your coaches were pretty happy about it, as I recall. That's how you guys celebrate in the staff room. Yeah.
Now, this is genuinely authentic. This was the night after Yoli came back to the office with Megan, and they said, hey, we're back in. And so, of course, as a staff, we lost our minds. And, those are three really cool kind of guys that are concerned about their image. But they were so overjoyed at this moment that they could actually look that dorky in their celebration is magic. And I'll tell you what, we knew how extraordinary Yoli Childs was as a player. And we felt like with him coming back, we had certainly a greater chance of having a special team and a special season because of his basketball skills. But when you see players make that type of commitment and give that type of trust to their team, that is what was most exciting and inspiring. And it wasn't the last difficulty that Yoli had to maneuver. But in my coaching career, I've never seen a guy handle situations beyond his control with more faith and more grace, and then come out by doing what he's done the last several weeks. It's breathtaking. And I'm telling you, if BYU had one person to represent this university in a way that we would all be proud, there is no doubt that this Yoli Childs could do it. It's extraordinary. He makes me look really good as a coach, man. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
You said a minute ago, we showed the video of you talking in May. You said you didn't know it would be special in the way it turned out to be special this year. And I'd have to think that at that time you didn't know that you'd have to miss games at the start or miss games in the middle, and that you'd have to have your guys kind of get your back, and then you'd have to come back and hit it hard the way you did. It turned out in a really different way, didn't it?
Yeah, it's been such a blessing. It really has been. My faith has been tested. I've been able to grow so much as a person and a basketball player, and it's been unbelievable. Sitting out those first 9 games, seeing the way our team was able to grow and respond, and some of these young guys like Colby were able to step up and play really big roles. It was really inspiring to see, and I was able to take time during that period to help our team on the practice squad and get extra reps in and try to improve as a player. But I was also just able to see it was a great example of why, you know, things happen that you consider bad things, and you look back and you realize that they're blessings for your life and for the people around you. So it's really been incredible for my life and my future.
What were you getting out of Yo in those first few weeks when he wasn't playing?
Well, you think about Kobe Lee. I tell you what, a big reason why Kobe Lee has become the player he is and had so much success was because not only was Yo crushing him in practice every day, but he was lifting him up every day. I told you I just had a conversation with Rich Harward and just this morning, and he told me, you know, he said, I came here and I wasn't sure I was going to fit in. Within a week, I felt more a part of this team than any team I've ever been at. This is a guy that's going to come and redshirt this year and cannot help Yoli Childs. And he said, he specifically named Yoli, and he said, because Yoli just brought me right into the team. And that special sauce in this team about how guys have been so generous and about how Yoli in particular has been incredibly generous with the team is I'm telling you, it's why we all love this team so much. It's why it's so fun to watch them.
Okay, Yo, triple bye and tourney time now in Vegas. What are you thinking?
It's awesome to be in the position we're in, but I'm crazy. I wish we could play on Thursday. You know, like that would be so fun just to play on Thursday and run through the whole thing. But we're really excited and we're preparing every single day to be in a position to be successful. And like I said, we're going to be better on Monday than we were last game. And every single day we get better, and we're excited for the opportunity to improve.
It's about the team improving. What did you want to do as a player in this senior year for your game and with your game, and how do you hope it's helped your team?
There was a ton of stuff with my game that I wanted to improve. You know, my shooting consistency, ball screen defense, transition defense, those type of things. But the biggest things were definitely just trying to be consistent and being a great teammate. You know, staying outside of myself and thinking about my guys first. You know, I feel like I've always been very motivated to try to make it to the next level and make it to the NBA and take care of my family and do those things. And I still have those motivations and those things still drive me. But I've tried to just focus on my team and focus on, you know, the church teaches service. I've tried to focus on serving my teammates and being there for them and just really giving myself to the team and not thinking about any individual things or anything like that, just getting outside of myself.
And, Coach, you've seen a lot from him in a year, haven't you?
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, we could sit here for an hour talking, but I had an experience with Yoli a week ago Saturday. We're in the throes of this incredible game against Gonzaga where two Titans are playing great quality basketball against each other, and it's an epic environment. And there were two times that I pulled Yoli in the second half just trying to manage fouls in a way that I felt good about, that I know Yoli didn't feel good about. And both times, like in the mayhem and the energy and the passion that's happening on the floor, both times Yoli came out, and as I'm bringing him out and he so desperately wants to stand on the floor and help his team, I'm about ready to explain to him, listen, this is why we have to do this. He just quieted me down two times in a row and said, hey, I trust you. Let's go. And he doesn't trust me because I'm a great coach. He trusts us because he knows that we're trying to do this together. And he did that when he made a decision to come back, and he did that when he made a decision to handle his 9 games so miraculously. And he's done that every single day with his teammates in terms of lifting them up and believing in them that together we can do something special. And because of all that, it's where we are and where we're headed.
Yo, it's been a pleasure getting to know you for 4 years.
Appreciate you.
You have a lot more games to play. Thank you. Yoli Childs, everybody. As we go to break, here's this week's trivia question presented by the BYU Store. In what year did BYU win its last conference tournament championship, and who did the Cougars beat to win it? The answer next. Stay with us. All right, trivia, question and answer. In what year? In what year did BYU win its last conference tournament championship, and who did the Cougars beat to win it? New Mexico in 2001 is our answer. Well, with this week marking our final show of the season, it's also our last chance to ask the question that intrigues Cougar Nation every week. It's the age-old query, what happened? That's right.
Was that ball went through the hoop? for the, my first points, I knew we were going to win. I just did. It was like a crystal ball above my head.
Wow. Wow. Some might say the Leahona. Is that true?
Some might say. I'd say just a basket.
And then what? This is how Gavin gets down, apparently.
There's no words.
And these are kind of Pepperdine synchronized dance moves from last Saturday's game. They got it going together. Yeah, it's all about the rhythm. And this is all about just hair flow. We're just zeroing in on the flow that Zach Sellius has going right now.
How beautiful is his look? I mean, seriously.
And sometimes when you're not on the floor, you're on the bike. And sometimes you stay on the bike a lot. And Pepperdine had a dude that was just kind of biking kind of like all game long when he wasn't on the floor. He's just always on the bike. Yeah. TJ Haws, this doesn't count. Would have been nice if it had, though, over the backboard.
Unbelievable.
With a kiss as well.
Come on.
Yeah. Now, this was a true what happened moment. Alex Barcelo gets laid out, and Jake says, I got to go check on my boy. But he was on the bench at the time. That's a problem. Yep. That's an ejection, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on me. It was, the referees have to make that call. It's written that way in the rules. So we've had some serious conversations on our team about.
And he went to go tan, as you said, outside. And then that was a pretty quick, pretty clear answer to what happened. You only dunked on a guy at the end.
My goodness gracious.
All right. It has been a fun and memorable season so far on the court and on the show. Here now, some of our favorite moments on our first season of the Pope Show. Let's take a look.
Can we talk about Louis? Can we talk about Louis?
We can talk about Louis.
Can we give Louis a shout out, TJ?
Absolutely, we can. Louis our cat.
And I hate BYU. I hate TJ Haws.
But not really.
No, not really. But like I'm competing.
No, really. Like I hated him too. You hated him. I hated him. We all hated him.
Gavin Baxter's a pretty intense individual, except when he's not.
Why do you and I not have a mustache right now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It was the greatest moment of victory in my life. I'm like, I know something Greg Wrubell doesn't know. Before each of these 3 threes that you're showing right now, I'm like, hold up, let's run a play. And Jake was like, no. I splashed on some cologne.
Just a second here. Oh, that's good.
I had no idea what the score was, how much time was left until that second free throw was staying on the rim. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh man, there's only 50 seconds. And it rolled in. I was like, wow, that's big time.
No matter how hard I thought I was pushing myself, I thought of Kobe and the stories and his work ethic.
Greg Wrubell has got a freaking cannon. Lefty.
Yeah, well.
It's unbelievable.
Our little boy, he's gonna be named after Grandpa Ralph.
Begged him, cried, pleaded, put a 10 out on the front doorstep and just slept there. Didn't really do that. That's illegal. I'm so embarrassed that I didn't come up with this 50-50 ball. The whole key of the game was 50-50 balls.
For the first little while, I was just amazed, and then after about a minute, I was just trying not to die.
Number 23 in the AP poll. We brought in 23 pizzas and donuts.
He started 123 consecutive games, and he weighed in at 123 pounds before the game.
Oh, that's Coach Pope fiddling with the mic tonight. It does feel that way. I also feel like we need to be a little closer.
Please get a little forward. Thank you for coming, because by the end of the season, we are going to win an Emmy.
There was a time when I thought I wouldn't play basketball ever again. I didn't know, where or how or if I was good enough. She really encouraged me to follow my dream.
It's not running into the huddle to let his guys know that he's back for them.
The fans in Spokane didn't appreciate Zach's hairstyle so much.
Your bullet sucks!
Well, we have had, yeah, that's good stuff. We have a little less than a minute left on our final show of our first season together, and we just saw a little bit of everything from this year, and it's been special from start to finish. Thank you for it.
Yeah, so grateful for you, and there's not a finer pro in all of college basketball than Greg Wrubell. We're lucky to be able to hear his voice and have it intimately connected with all BYU athletics. We're really blessed. And then I'll just say one more time. You know, the best thing about BYU athletics is how it can bring us together. It is the best thing. And we appreciate you guys jumping on this journey and supporting these extraordinary young men and what they're doing. And like Yoli said so appropriately, like, guys, the work has just started, okay? This is where the real work gets done. This is where the special things happen. So stay on board and let's go finish this season off in spectacular ways. We're grateful for you guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Coach. Thank you all. Go Cougs. We'll see you next year.